A dating site specifically for white people is catching a little bit of heat on social media, even though it's not necessarily a new dating site. Now, the day that Where White People Meet launched is unclear. However, the website did have a blog post dating back to 2013. So we do know that it's at least a few years old. However, recently there was a billboard posted in Utah advertising the service, and as a result, people are talking about it, and now it's on everyone's radar. Now, the question is this website racist? Is it bad? Should it be criticized? Well, the website itself does have an explanation for why this dating site exists, okay? One person wrote, not one person, but the website indicates, I am sure some of you are wondering about the concept and need for a dating website titled wherewhitepeoplemeet.com. Our answer to that would be, why not? There are various dating sites that promote and cater to just about every origin, race, religion, and lifestyle out there. So again, why not? Wherewhitepeoplemeet.com.
So, I mean, do you want to fill in why that might be? I'm not even saying why I feel it shouldn't exist, but the obvious answer is because if you're in a place where one group is, let's say, 70 or 80% of the population, and that number can be even larger in some areas, it is then harder for the other, much smaller group to find each other, which is why specialized websites and things like that need to be set up.
Yeah.
You don't need a specialized one when you can expect that any dating site you go on is going to have 60, 70, or 80% white people.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that's my stance, but I think that when you say why not, you have to immediately think, oh, that's why not. And then maybe amend the thing you typed into the internet.
So this company is based in Utah. That ad, that billboard, was posted in Utah. And it's mostly white neighborhoods, white areas where it's not that easy to find white people to date. So that's the part that kind of kills me. I think it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's focus on something kind of outside of the site. Individuals who only want to date within their race, are they racist?
I mean, I think a lot of people feel that way. I think a lot of people in every race feel that way to some extent or another. I think it's lower than it used to be.
Okay.
I mean, but here's the thing. You can't, at the end of the day, you can't help what you are attracted to.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the point that I want to make about this is I don't agree with people who only want to date within their race. I think that there is a sea of delicious people out there, and you should, just taste the rainbow.
Sample every flavor.
Right?
Just scoop it up. Just shovel it in your mouth.
Yes, and I think that people are more inclined to date those that are within their race because it's comfortable.
Because that's who they're around, generally.
That's who they're around. They understand the culture. They understand the traditions. And this goes beyond white people, okay? Let's say that we're not even just talking about race. Let's say we're talking about nationality. You see a lot of that. You see Armenians that only want to date Armenians. You see Asians that only want to date Asians. You see it. Obviously, Asian is also a race, but you know what I'm saying. Like Japanese want to, yes. Japanese only want to date Japanese. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's a comfort thing. And it's also pressure from older generations, although you should discount that and not care too much about it. You should focus on what you want to do with yourself and your life and who you want to date. But I don't think it makes you racist. I think it just makes you have a preference and you want to go with that preference, and you can't have people force you to date outside your race or nationality.
Well, and what would that even look like to force you to? Yeah, I agree with you. It doesn't make you racist, but it can be because you're racist. I think that's one way, but not necessarily both ways. We should also acknowledge, of course, that non-white people can go on this site. I don't know why you would want to, because it seems like a terrible place.
Yeah.
And I think it should be allowed to exist. I think almost all of these websites are totally stupid. Just go on whatever website you want. People can start whatever stupid-ass website they want. I don't really care about that. I find the larger conversation that we're having more interesting.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, you cannot help what you are attracted to. And to say that you're wrong to want what you want, you can say it if you want, but it's not going to affect people. That's not how desire works. But objectively, it would be better if you were attracted to all races for you. Like, I never understand people who are happy to not enjoy things or to not like things. Like, there's the contrarian opinion that saw the new Star Wars and was like, oh, I didn't like it at all. Well, I feel sorry for you because it was delightful.
How did
I enjoy
you
licorice.
get Star
Most
Wars
people don't.
into this story?
I'm going to fit in all sorts of shit. People who don't like licorice, you know what? You'd be better off if you did, because then you'd like it.
Licorice
you should
is
want everything.
Garbage. Does anyone like black licorice
other
than you? And I say black
Plenty of
licorice
people do.
because some people think red licorice qualifies
They're
as
crazy.
licorice. It's not
just
licorice.
candy. But wouldn't you be better off if you also liked licorice or the obvious metaphor that I'm making?
No, here's the thing. Here's the difference between me and those who hate just to hate. I have tried licorice, okay? I don't like licorice.
I know, but I'm saying, but if
Same
you
thing
could
happened
flip
to
a
me when I
switch.
started, you know, venturing out of the Latino culture to date others.
Venturing out. But if you could
and I was
flip,
like,
if you
no,
could
I
flip
like
a
Latinos.
switch, if you could flip a switch and like licorice, why wouldn't you do that? Because afterward, you would like it. In the same way that somebody who's like, oh, I only want to date whites, I don't like them Asians and them blacks. You'd be better off if you had more choice. Why not?
Yeah, no, I agree. More choice is better. Look, it's already really difficult to find someone that you jive with. It's even more difficult to find someone that you jive with that's within your own race or your own nationality.
Yes.
So yeah, open it up, be open-minded. And look, I know that I sound like a hypocrite saying that because I have a very specific preference, and it's not something that I'm doing on purpose. It's just my preference, and I can't. I believe me, I've tried. I've tried to be open-minded, but I like what I like, and so I don't begrudge people, regardless of what race they are, if they want to stay within their race when it comes to dating and sex. It is what it is. But I do highly recommend that you keep an open mind because there are great people out there.